What's up, everybody? So, in the last video, we added some animations to our trophy here. So now if I collide with it, it gets animated and we move on to level 2. So let's quickly take a look at the script that we ended up modifying. So got my Gemini pulled up, and this is the level goal script that we updated in the last video. So level goal, let's open it up and do a quick review of it. And if you don't understand code, as always, don't worry about this, but let's see. So we added this transition delay. So this is the time we wait for the level switch. So from going to this level to the next so that we can see the animation. It says adjust this to match your animation length. So I am satisfied with 1.5F for now. Uh, is triggered. This is our boolean that we added in our animation. If we go back in our animations and level go, where did we add the animation? Never mind, we didn't actually add an is triggered parameter here. It's just strictly a boolean in our script that we set to true as soon as we collide, I'm assuming, so prevents triggering multiple times. So on trigger 2D function is where we modified a bunch of code. So once we collide with our player, once the trophy collides with our player, the is triggered boolean becomes true, and we fire the animation. So animation.set trigger, uh, and then we call the activate trigger. So we go back in game, activate. This was the trigger we created. And then we do some console logging, and we created this function load next level delayed. So this coroutine, I guess you call it coroutine in C# that waits, then loads the scene. So wait for the specified number of seconds, which is the transition delay up here, 1.5F for now, and then we load our next scene, which is our level 2. So everything's not working great. So let's cover a few quick tweaks on this one. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. All right, so these are going to be the final touches for level 1, and then we're going to move on to level 2 maybe in the next one. But the tweaks I want to make is going to be tweaking these two buttons up here and then fixing this coins because we no longer have coins. I think I'll change it to points. So let's make the buttons look better, and then we're going to change our coins to something like points. Paste the screenshot. Trophy is now animated. Let's make the buttons look better for the left and right buttons. I want a joystick like controller if possible. For the jump button, I want it, and I want it to look better. Maybe some transparency across both buttons. And I want to make sure that the switching to as long as it's not too much effort. And if it is too much effort to switch to a joystick like controller, otherwise, let's just make the buttons look nicer. nicer. And then what else? Finally, I want to change the coin to points. Coin tracker to say points since we have now have oranges instead of coins. If you want to take a look at the prompt. Okay, so having that animated visual at the end of the level is great touch. Stark wide UI blocks is the perfect next move. Okay, styling the UI is okay. This is just going back to YouTube devlog. Don't worry about it, bro. Just help me develop this thing. So virtual joystick is absolutely possible using Unity's on-screen stick component and the input system requires. Okay, so no, we're gonna skip this part then, because it is too much work for. Okay, yeah, let's stick with the left and right directional buttons. So make the buttons semi-transparent and then update the score to points. So let's just go over these two steps. So starting with the buttons, making them semi-transparent. In the hierarchy, we're gonna hold Control and click on the left button. Left button. Where is our button? Canvas? Mobile controls? Okay, left button and right button. Control click. And jump button also. So three selected at the same time. Look for the image component and in the inspector. So go to inspector, image. Image is right here. And click on the color bar. So here, and I'm guessing we changed the A over here or alpha. Drag it to around 100 or 125. So let's go with 125 maybe. Looks good. Da, 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 da. To make them look even cleaner, click the little arrow next to the buttons in the hierarchy to expand them, then select their text and either delete them or change their font color to alpha to match the buttons. Okay, well, what is it exactly saying? Select the text. So text is, let's just click one at a time maybe, left, because they have three different texts, right? So text, text, text. Where is text? Click the little arrow next to your buttons in the hierarchy. Oh, okay, okay. I see what it's saying. All right, so text over here. Select the text child objects and either delete them or change their font colors alpha to match the buttons. Hmm. I kind of like having buttons with text. I don't want to delete it, but what I want to do is maybe change the text to something that doesn't say like jump. Or am I overthinking this? Might be overthinking a little bit. You know what? Let's just leave it as is for now. I'm happy with it. Maybe do a little bit of resizing because these all seem like they have different sizing. So going back to scene view, and this is just my touch. You don't have to do any of this stuff, but let me click on the right button, jump button. There's an easier way to do this actually. 160 by 75. Let's change the width a little bit. So over here in the inspector, change the width to maybe 140, right? Did it really work? Didn't seem like it did anything. Why did it not do anything? What am I changing? Oh, jump button. Left button. There we go. So 185. We're gonna change this to 170 maybe, or even lower, 160. Right button is gonna be 160 also. Okay, and then the jump button also make 160, which I already did. So they're all evenly sized now, and position wise, height can also be height looks good, but instead of that weird number, I'll just do 75 for both, and also yeah 75. Cool. And move tool, position 369 negative. What about these two? 369, 369. Okay. Where's the left button at? Negative 768. So jump should go positive 768, just so that the spacing is even on both edges. And I think we're good with the buttons for now. Yeah. Now, step two, update the score, 2 points. So this should be pretty easy. The hierarchy, select the score text objects. So score text. Is it in canvas? Score text. Okay. Inspector's text input box. Change the default placeholder text from coins to points. So from coins, I'll just change this to points. And watch it update in real time. Points right there. Score text. In the inspector's text input box. Okay, done. Now pick up the C# script that handles. So let's go back to scripts here. That handles. This might be your game manager. So game manager, I think, is the right one. Game manager. This is our script. And over here, we're gonna say find the line that says coins, coins, and change the coins in our update score UI function or coroutine to points. All done, and save this. Go back to Unity. Wait for it to compile. All done compiling. So let's go back to the game and take it for a spin. Okay, buttons look much nicer, transparent. Back to keyboard, and I'm leaving the enemy as a moonwalker. I'm not fixing the facing the opposite direction. And yeah, I think our game looks pretty cool. Let's make sure the points update. Yep, points stay and update as expected, and our player doesn't have any friction on the sides. Falls right down from the last video, if you remember, or one of the last videos. Okay, and everything looks pretty clean. So I think I'm all done with level one. Um, and I'll see you on the next one.